And it's not clickbait either. Actually, it's really how to save $10,000 on food, because you can do that. So save $10,000 on food in 1 year! Exclamation point.
You guys are live on YouTube.
Hey,
Hello, YouTube. So
Tara's tweeting live. Okay, let's hope
I
that's all
know
good.
I am the world's most unorganized person ever.
Oh,
Okay.
can I put a link up for...
Get a little closer.
No.
Don't be shy.
Don't.
Okay, so today we are talking about 11 ways to save $10,000 on food. Is that possible?
No. Yes. That's it. Show's over. It's not possible. Yes, it's possible.
Does
Actually,
anyone think that's possible? Give me a thumbs up if you think that's possible. $10,000 in 1 year. So, here's the thing. In our Dining on a Dime cookbook, right here, see, Dining on a Dime cookbook, page 3.
getting lots of thumbs ups.
See, everybody knows you can do it. Right here, the very first page after the title, right here in Dining on a Dime cookbook, how to save $10,000 in 1 year. Now, the reason why we put this in here is because people think they can't save on their grocery bill. And when I start going through these tips and saying, well, if you would use Dining on a Dime instead of doing the things that are on this list, you can actually save $10,000. And I had one lady email me and say she saved, her and just her husband saved $22,000 in 1 year.
It's insane.
$22,000 in 1 year.
Wow.
That's crazy. So, 11 ways right here.
Probably most Americans could do this with the budget they have, right?
Yeah. I would say 95% of American families are doing these things and you don't even know it, and that's where a good portion of your money is going. I know there's a lot of frugal types out there that may not be doing this, but the majority of Americans are, because it's pretty common. Okay, so what can you do to save 11 ways to save on $10,000 on food? Number 1. If you just cut out one of these things, it won't equal $10,000. But if you add up all of them, it's over $10,000. $10,090.50 exactly. So I'm going to go from littlest to biggest, I think. So the littlest one is if you buy your kids the fruit roll-ups or the fruit gummy things. Gushers, those kinds of things. If you buy 1 box of those per week at $2.50 a box, it's $130 in 1 year. Right there. Gummy things. Oh, I sound just like me.
Just check.
That's number 1. 130 bucks right there. Let's see, what could you buy for $130?
A pack of gum. Oh, wait.
No,
just kidding.
For $130,
you could buy your entire family shoes for $130. Easy.
If you're a technical person, you could buy a 5 terabyte hard drive at that price.
Dave says you can buy a 5 terabyte hard drive. I have no idea what that is, but
Yes,
it's
you
something
can.
impressive.
That thing you wanted to buy.
Something you're wanting for the soap show.
Oh yeah, okay, so we'll see right there. So you guys don't get any fruit anything, so I can buy my Terra thingy.
Okay.
Okay, 1 bag of potato chips. If you buy 1 less bag of potato chips per week at $3 a bag, $156 in 1 year. If you buy 1 less 6-pack of soda per week at $3, that's $156 per year. So we're already up to $450, and you haven't even cut out hardly anything. Next, let's see. Now we're getting to the bigger stuff. 1 box of granola cereal. If you don't buy 1 box of granola cereal and instead use the recipe in here, Let's see, where's the recipe in here? Granola cereal.
I just did it the other day.
And we just made a YouTube video on how to do it, page 66. So if you don't buy one box, just one, and instead you make it on page 66 in Dining on a Dime, $208 in 1 year. That's just one box a week. That's not that much. You can still have one box, but just don't eat 2 boxes. Just eat 1 box. Number 4. What number am I on? I'm totally lost on myself. But anyway, I think I'm on number 4. Let's see, I did potato chips for $156, soda $156. Granola $208, fruit leather is $130. Number 5. Here's a big one. This is huge. 1 cup of juice or milk per person for a family of 4. Daily is $10 a week, which is $520 a year. That is a lot of money to just literally drink it down the toilet. You get it? I made that up in my head as I went.
Yeah, okay then. You should bring the toilet cup over here.
We should. We need our toilet cup again. Just 1 cup per day. I'm not talking about cutting it all out. So just imagine.
Wait, 1 per person or 1 for...
1 per person per day for a family of 4.
Okay.
So if you have...
Is that all? Are you sure it's not more than that now?
Well, no. Well, this is what I'm getting ready to say. Most parents
There's water in this.
will give their kids... will keep refill... It's okay. Will keep filling up the sippy cups like 6-8 times a day with juice. It's ridiculous. Stop filling sippy cups or letting your kids drink as much juice and milk as they want. Nutritionally, it is not any better than water. You are not getting any additional nutrients that you're missing. You're not missing anything if you cut that out. As a matter of fact, what you're doing is you're helping your kids to not be obese and get diabetes and get that kind of thing. And then
They can flush your worries.
you're not going to flush it down the toilet. Thank you, Dave. Stop giving your kids so much juice and milk. It's ridiculous. So just imagine if you cut out the sippy cup and the gallon of milk. I mean, you could save probably $3,000 or $4,000 in 1 year just on that if you had a couple of kids. I had one lady say she was spending, get the calculator out, let's see how much this is.
Here,
She was spending $2.50 on a gallon of milk every day for her 2-year-old.
Every day?
Every day for her 2-year-old.
We have 7 people and we don't drink a gallon of milk in a day.
We drank a gallon of milk for 7 of us in about 10 days to 2 weeks.
That'd be $912.5.
$912 is how much she spent. That's almost $1,000 in 1 year just on milk for a 2-year-old. That is absolutely ridiculous, and there's no reason for it. Absolutely none. Absolutely crazy. All right. Now, number 6. Now we're getting up to the bigger ones. If you reduce your meat consumption by 1.5 pounds a week, by 3 pounds a week, so 2 nights a week, reduce it by 1.5 pounds at $3 a pound, you get $468 in 1 year. Almost $500 just by eating 2 meatless meals a week. That is a huge amount of money. What could I buy for almost $500? I could buy myself 2 weeks at a motel room in Glenwood Springs for their weekly rate.
Yes, you could.
Actually, we're eating some spaghetti.
It's seriously helpful to figure out what you can buy and what you're kind of losing. Because I think I didn't hear you say this at the beginning. Sorry,
I probably didn't, but
I didn't hear you say this at the beginning, but kind of where Tara's going with this is that most of the waste that people have is just from nickel and dime things that seem like it's hardly anything, so I'm not really going to think about it.
Yeah.
But people do it every day.
And if you just cut out meat, okay, so let's get the calculator out again. We should have had a calculator for this show. Let's say you reduce your meat 2 nights a week you eat a meatless meal. What could be a meatless meal? You could have tostadas with beans.
Macaroni.
You could have spaghetti. You could have macaroni. You could have something else that just came into my head and I lost it. You could have beans and rice. Anything like that. So $500, Dave, divided by, let's say you earn $10 an hour.
Divided by 10?
Mm-hmm. So $500 divided by 10.
50.
So you would have to work 50 hours. Well, I knew that in my head. Why was I having you use the calculator? But that is after,
Why?
that is before taxes. In that $10 an hour, you're only bringing home probably $8 an hour if you and your husband are both working. So for $8 an hour, you're going to have to work a week and a half extra that you are working when you could just cut out meat for 2 meals a week and make bean tostadas or bean burritos or something like that. Or you even just eat the leftovers. That's a week and a half's worth of work you wouldn't have to work. Okay, next. Do we have questions while I'm in here?
Well, they're not all directly related, but Angie says we had tacos tonight from Dining on a Dime.
Right here, Dining on a Dime. Yay! 1,200 ways to save money on your grocery bill.
Pamela says, you guys look nice tonight. What's for dinner?
So tonight we are having roast.
Oh.
We're having roast and baked potatoes.
Oh,
And
glad I asked.
we're having the same
Glad Pamela
thing
asked.
as Jamie because Jamie's been really, really sick. So I took her dinner over tonight.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
You should take it to Penny, too.
I know. I wish I could take it to Penny in Michigan. Penny is super, super sick too. Yes, Dave.
And Penny's here, too. We're glad you're with us, even though you're
Yay! Even
trying
though
to stay
you're
on this
sick.
side of the ground.
Yeah.
Debbie says she just bought half a gallon of milk at Aldi's for 79 cents.
Very good. But the thing is most people in the country don't have milk. And even at that, are you just wasting money if you're just giving it to your kids, all the time? But Aldi's is a great way to save money. And if you have an Aldi's, I would shop there before you go anywhere else. That's what we did. Mike used to, when I was really sick in Kansas, he would go do the Aldi shopping. Take him, 20 minutes to get in and
just
get
blow
out?
through complete. And I knew where everything was that we always got. I didn't even have to have a list.
Yeah.
I could just go in and grab all those specific
It's
things.
great because they only have one variety of everything.
It's nice when there's one kind of peaches. You don't
One
have to
kind of
stand there and
blueberries.
decide.
One kind of cinnamon. You just go in and get it. I love Aldi's, and I say if you have an Aldi's, go. It is worth the time to check it out. You will save a ton of money.
Yes. We're going to get to the rest of the tips in just a minute, but Steph says, I don't think I spend that much in 2 years. And
That's good.
Sandy says, people need to use the common sense that God gave them. And Pickled Ham Productions says, geez Louise, who spends $10,000 on food in a year? You'd be very surprised.
I can sit and list off 10 people in our neighborhood right now that do that.
And
Just by looking in their trash can.
Well, and people don't think, actually probably the majority of Americans have at least that much waste. And a lot of it's things like, it's cool if you want to go to, if you really like Starbucks and you want to get a Starbucks now and then. But when people go every day or twice a day. Sorry.
Hold on.
Okay.
That's the big ones coming up.
Sorry. Okay. There were also, Becky says, I was looking at my cookbook today. Love the tips as well as the recipes.
Yes.
Penny said
we have 1,200 recipes and tips in here. Yeah.
Penny said she especially loved the page of what you're doing today in the cookbook.
Yes. So this is the first page because if you don't get this, you aren't getting it. Everyone asks us, how did we pay off $20,000 of debt in 5 years on $22,000 a year income with 2 kids? This is how we did it. This is exactly how we did it.
And some people say, well, that's just a little bit, but it's a little bit every day. And it's not just in one area, it's in many areas.
Excuse me.
Because if you waste $10 a day on something in a year, it's $3,600.
Okay, so now let's get to the big stuff. So, 1 gourmet coffee.
Oops.
So let's say your Starbucks, your whatever coffee joint you have there. No offense to my daughter who's working at a coffee shop right now. But The minimum coffee that people buy at my daughter's place is like $8 for 1 cup of coffee. So this just isn't even relevant because I have $5 on this one. So let's say you spend $5 just once a day. Most people go more than once a day, but let's say it's just 1 coffee at $5. More than $1,800 in a year. Okay, Dave, divide it up.
Wait, what?
$1,800
1,800.
divided by 10
10.
is how many hours? 180
that-
hours? Am I right?
Yes.
So 180 divided by 40 is what?
180 divided by 40 equals 4.5.
So, for your Starbucks coffee, you are working you're working probably closer to 6 weeks after taxes, because it's after tax money, just to pay for your Starbucks coffee a month.
This is if you have one every day?
This is if you have one every day.
Just one.
Every year, you are working 5 to 6 weeks just to pay for your Starbucks. Seriously, is that really worth it? Was it worth it to you?
I haven't done that with Starbucks.
See, he's never done that because it's not worth it. If we're going to spend our time working 6 weeks, we're going to save that money and use it for something important. Not on coffee that's gone in 10 minutes in the morning that you can make at home for 20 cents. Yeah?
Now, Starbucks, I can see why people like where Ellie works at, even though it's really expensive, because their coffee is actually good quality coffee.
But see, you can buy good quality coffee and make it at home for like 20 cents, even if you buy the good stuff.
Actually, yeah, you can. In fact, this isn't really saving that much, but I know my brother actually buys the Starbucks coffee and makes it at home. At least he saves some.
Oh,
but you can get other coffee that's even less expensive, but amazingly good, and make it yourself.
So here's a funny story. So Mike's brother used to get the Starbucks coffee in the bag, and on the back they had this little UPC thing that said if you brought it in, you'd get a free cup of coffee. So they saved all those, and they would give them to BJ. And when he was still in high school, there was a Starbucks across the street, and he would take one of those every morning, one of those free things, and go get his free cup of coffee. So they started calling him the coffee thief, because every morning he would come in and have his little...
Thief?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he always got his free coffee.
But he was a regular there, and he never bought any of it.
He never bought any of it. But he took what was an actual legitimate coupon and got it for free. All right, let's see, I think we're on number 11, 10, 9. Pizza delivered plus a tip. Oh, ho, ho. Okay, does anybody get pizza delivered? Give me a thumbs up and let me see if anybody does this. Does anybody do this? Now, I've got down $20 for 1 pizza a week delivered. I think that's super low.
That's the pizza plus the delivery?
Yeah.
And the tip?
Yeah. I think that's way, way low. I wrote this. Yeah, see, lots of people get pizza delivered. I wrote this before my son was a pizza delivery boy.
When she thought that it was less expensive than it is?
He said the average person spent $40 to $50 on a pizza delivery. That is ridiculous, people.
Wait.
Hello.
But even 20 is...
Even
pretty high.
20. Okay, so look at all these people ordering pizza. You stop it now.
So
Listen to this.
They're 51 weeks in a year, right?
52.
52? Okay.
$1,000. If you just spend $20 a week, that is $1,000.
So if you buy 1 pizza delivery for every week of the entire year, that's $2,080.
$2,080 if you spend $40 on 1 pizza a week. That is crazy. Make yourself some spaghetti if you can't do anything. Open a jar of spaghetti. It's $2.
Well, you could buy a box pizza at the grocery store and put it in the oven. I know
exactly.
And it's like $2.
I know you could say it doesn't taste like the restaurant kind, but you don't have to have the restaurant kind every day or 3 times a week.
Make it a special occasion. And by special, I mean like once or twice a year.
Like
not an every week thing or a couple of times a week. I know people... And I'm not exaggerating. I see it sticking out of their trash. They will have 3 and 4 pizza boxes sticking out of the top of their trash every week. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Or make yourself ramen if you can't even do spaghetti. It's
Yeah.
usually-
Sorry, I was looking at some of the comments here. Mom says, it doesn't have to just be coffee. It could be tea, pop, or bottled water.
Oh, bottled water! Don't get me started.
Well, that was funny because I was just thinking of my story about bottled water. I was working at a restaurant in Estes Park, Colorado,
Oh my goodness.
where the water comes off the mountains,
Off the glacier,
and then they
purify it.
purify it in town, and you get it out of the tap. And people were asking us for bottled water at our restaurant. So one day I just looked at the bottle, and it said on it, bottled at the Houston Municipal Water Supply. And I thought, because that's, no offense if you live in Houston, but I was thinking, you're here with fresh mountain spring water, and you're paying to have water trucked in from the Houston Municipal Water Supply.
It makes absolutely no sense. And I totally understand. We lived in Texas. Oh, man. We lived in Texas with nasty water. It was nasty.
It was just
Whoa!
really hard water.
Oh, we almost had a light go over. Okay. Don't know how the dog
Thank
escaped,
you.
but he did. We lived in Kansas where we had nasty water. I totally get the nasty water thing, but going by the 25-cent refillable gallon jugs and do that. Get yourself a Brita, whatever. But you don't need to be spending this much on bottled water. It's absolutely ridiculous. I know one family who would spend like $15 on bottled water every week. Why? We have beautiful, glorious fresh water here in Colorado. I don't know why you need to do that.
Well, most of the water places, they run it through a filter at a tap from some city's water supply. So it's it's tap water run through a filter. You could get yourself a filter
Absolutely
and save a lot
ridiculous.
over the bottles.
Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so now we're getting to the
Don
good
says
stuff.
I just paid $47 with tip for pizza today.
Stop it! That is ridiculous.
But thanks for sharing.
That is absolutely crazy, guys. I totally understand if it's a special occasion or if you're just so sick in bed you literally cannot move to the kitchen and open a jar of spaghetti sauce and boil some noodles. I get that. But
And it's not just Dawn. Kate says we get pizza once a month, but pizza and tip together are $39. So
okay, so here's what I do for the pizza. We have had pizza delivery, I think once. Was it just BJ? Have we ever had it other than when BJ brought it?
I don't think so. But we
Okay.
paid for it then because it was our son.
So I've had, in how many years have we been married? 22?
Yep.
Okay, in 22 years of marriage, with 5 kids, and I'm chronically ill, and you guys have no idea, we haven't gone to our story, we're waiting to finish Mom's story, but you guys have no idea the things that we have gone through in our lives to where we really did not have the time or energy to cook. One time, I have ordered pizza delivery, and that was only because my son was the pizza delivery guy. And he thought it would be fun to deliver it at home.
We just wanted to encourage him at his work.
Yes.
And also we got a free discount.
And no, we didn't.
Aw, and
That cost me $45 and I would never do it again. I was like, forget it. This is not worth it. I love you, son, but I'll give you a $10 tip on your bed in the morning. Ridiculous.
Well, now, just so you know, Tasha says if we get pizza, it's a $5 carryout from Little Caesars.
Yes. So that's what I was just getting ready to get to. So how do we get around pizza delivery? We will do if I just really cannot even have the energy to put a pizza in the oven, we will do the $5.
Well, they've upped it in Colorado now.
Is it $6 now? Yeah, $6 now. At Little Caesars. It used to be $5. They just changed it. But $5 to $6 from Little Caesars. We'll do that maybe once a month. Maybe. And now, we used to get 2 pizzas when BJ was eating it. He's been really sick, so he hasn't been eating it. So now we just get 1.
Well, one thing
And that's about what I would spend on dinner anyway.
yeah. Well, and there's nothing wrong with getting one every now and then if it's a special occasion or birthday
Yeah.
or something, right? But you're talking about not just doing it as a regular
Just,
thing.
people do this as a regular thing all the time, though. What?
Rhonda says I ordered pizza for $6 and a French dip. The extra meat cost me $18, but I only do this one time a month, and those 2 together are $24.
Wow, $24. So we'll get it from Little Caesars. I will buy pizzas when they're on sale and just keep them in my freezer. And then when I'm having a bad day, like a show day or something, I will just throw one of those $3 pizzas in the oven or 2 in the oven. So just keep them on hand. Make it easy for yourself, but you don't need to be spending $40 to $50 to order pizza once or twice a week. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so now we're getting to the really good stuff. So lunch. If you spend $8 per person, 20 days a month on lunch, $1,920. Almost $2,000 just for lunch. Now, remember my story at the beginning where I said the $22,000, the people who spent $22,000?
Yep.
She said that her and her husband, that was just them buying lunch and eating out for special occasions. She read our Stop Eating Your Way into Debt story, which, can you get that up? And, did you hear me?
What am I getting?
Stop Eating Your Way into Debt. On livingonadime.com.
Actually, Rhonda
I wasn't sure if that was when you gave me
Rhonda
it.
says the actual total was $18. That wasn't just...
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So she read our Stop Eating Your Way into Debt, and her and her husband for 1 year kept all their receipts, and it was $22,000 they spent on eating out just for her and her husband.
And she said they really had no idea it was anywhere near that high.
She said they were flabbergasted. She said, I could have bought a new car with cash after 1 year for that.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't. Oh, so I'm sharing that link, but also I'm going to then share the link for the thing that we're talking about today, too.
And you guys, you have to put this into perspective.
So that's the first link.
How many hours are you working or your spouse is working to pay for this?
Or do you have a job just to pay for the extras?
I get moms who want to be stay-at-home moms all the time, and they say, we just can't do it. There's no way we can do it. And as I'm talking to them, they're ordering pizza twice a week. They're eating out every lunch. They are going out to eat, which is going to be my next one I'm going to talk about. Every week, they are spending literally hundreds of dollars on convenience foods. And here they are literally working just for these things. Literally, that's all they're working for. It is absolutely ridiculous. So here's the last one, and this is the biggie. Eating out for a family of 4 for dinner.
Wait, before you get to that. Because there's a lot of discussion over on Facebook
Oh,
about
okay.
bottled water.
Okay.
Like one lady was
bottled
saying
water.
that her husband is a truck driver, but they buy it at... Oh, wait, I think she said that they buy it at Sam's or whatever, and it's less, and it is less that way. But then some of the people are saying that they do buy it. Some people are saying use a Brita, and some people refill the bottles themselves.
Yes, that's what we did.
But I noticed if you go to a convenience store, it's like $3 for one of those bottles, single bottle of water.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Denise.
And a lot of people do that.
Yeah. Denise, I haven't hit the table because we had to put our microphone on the table, and if I hit the table, it's going to make the microphone crash, and you guys are going to get a big wonk in your ear.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the last one, guys. Number 11. Eating out for a family of 4 for dinner is $60 per person per family once a week.
That's cheap too. That's cheap for a family.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Drum roll. $3,100 a year.
What?
For just one meal.
But $60 for a family of 4?
And here's the deal. Mike and I have noticed. You want to tell them what you've noticed since
part?
we have been going out on our dates every now and then? If we go to a sit-down
I've noticed
restaurant.
a lot of things. Which one are you thinking of? Oh, yeah. Oh, I just came up with this. We've noticed that people go out to eat and they leave like half of the food at the restaurant and then they go home.
Ridiculous, people.
Not only that, but people will buy individual meals for their kids and the kids will just barely touch it and then they'll leave that at. And a lot of times, like, I've seen parents go to Chipotle and they buy their kids
It's a huge burrito.
an entire burrito. And then the kid hardly eats any of it, but they just swipe that card and they don't even really think about it. And we go to Chipotle sometimes, and we go in there and we might spend $8 or $11 for both of us. And other people will go in there and they'll be like a mom and 2 kids, and she'll swipe that card and it'll be like $48. And I'm thinking, how are you spending $48 at Chipotle for 3 people? 2 of them are kids. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. We go to Chipotle and we will eat 1 burrito bowl and we'll split it between the 2 of us, and that's our date night if we don't go to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And occasionally we'll go to a sit-down restaurant, but even Mike and I, we don't even go to a sit-down restaurant anymore because it's gotten to the point where I am not going to spend $15 to $20 for 1 meal that's not even that good, that I could cook at home better.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather go out and spend it on plants for my garden, or soap supplies, or save it for a vacation or whatever, which, well, okay, we never have vacations hardly, but, you know, if we did have a vacation, save it for that. But the point is, we get people every day who make excuses as to why they can't stay home, or, well, I'm working, and so I just don't have the time or the energy to do it. That's the problem. You're spending the money on all this stuff, and you wouldn't have to be working if you weren't spending the money on it in the first place.
Now, some people are talking about, not very many, but a couple of people are saying that because of they're really busy with this or that and they're spending more. And the thing is, if you're really busy and you're making a lot of money and you have the money to spare,
and you're not in debt,
you can spend
that's
more.
fine.
This is if you really need to cut your budget. I mean, the thing is, there are some things that, like with the bottles of water, you can buy them at Sam's or whatever. I know that they're cheaper if you buy the whole case. And the thing is that if it works out that you're making a lot more money, and it justifies that in your, because there are some things that we didn't used to spend money on at all that are more convenience that we do spend a little bit on now because we can. And we don't go crazy with it. But a lot of people who are completely upside down in debt and about to lose their house in foreclosure are spending $3 twice a day on bottled water at a convenience store.
Yeah.
And it's not unusual. This isn't like occasionally some people are doing that. This is most people.
Yeah. And, you know, like I said, I get moms all the time saying, oh, I wish I could stay at home. You're so lucky. Oh, my goodness. I just want to punch people in the nose when they say, you're so lucky you get to stay at home.
You're not.
Luck has absolutely zero to do with it. Yeah.
Here, you mean hold the mic so you can pound the table?
Yeah. Luck has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. Stop saying that. Okay. I feel better now. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with luck. And I totally understand. I am not talking about the people where if your husband becomes disabled or something like that, I'm not talking about extenuating circumstances. I'm talking about the normal everyday things. Both spouses are healthy. You're working. You're paying for all these extra things, and you don't need to be doing that. Just say no, people. So, you know, stop making excuses and start figuring out a way to pay off your debt, to stay at home if that's what you want to do, and to get your things paid off so that you aren't fighting over money all the time. You're not stressing about money all the time. And that kind of thing.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Right.
Whoa, there's stuff peeling off here like crazy.
Okay, now we will get to comments.
So Mary says, went over my daughter's expenses for a month and came up with $450 for coffee and bagels at Tim Hortons. $450 in 1 month.
Have mercy. How can you spend that much on coffee and bagels?
Wait, what?
$450 a month. How much is that times 12?
50
That would be times 10. 4,000. That's like 550 bucks.
$5,400.
$5,400 just
Every
for coffees
year.
and bagels every year.
Yep.
That is crazy. Just crazy.
Megan says, we don't have kids, but your suggestions are working great for this retired couple who wants to have money to save, travel, do retirement and hobbies. Yes.
That's the whole point. Stop wasting money on this other stuff so you can use it on the stuff that you want to do.
And Michelle says, why no vacations if you're saving money doing this? Well, because for a long time we
couldn't afford it.
We just, even though we were saving the money, we still barely had any money.
Yeah. We were paying our basic bills. We were paying our medical bills. We were being responsible.
Because partly, since Tara is chronically ill, she can't work full time. She really can't work a regular job. So we've been living on one income that's probably half the income of a lot of the people around us for at the same kind of it appeared to be the same lifestyle as people around us, but they were borrowing
and here's the thing,
like
we get criticized all the time on our how to live on one income video. Probably at least once or twice a week I will have somebody get snarky with me and say, well, you say don't take any vacations. That's family time and you need to have something to look forward to and that kind of thing. No, I'm sorry. You need to be responsible and pay your bills. If you're not paying your bills and you're in debt up to your eyeballs, you don't need to be going on vacation, period, no and ifs or buts. Sorry. If that's the way it is, you need to cut that out and get some of your debt paid off first. Now, if you are debt free and you're doing all this and you have the cash to pay for these vacations, go for it. But if you're charging $10,000 for a vacation, that is just flat out wrong, and you should not be doing that.
Yeah, Cindy says you can have a nice large income and still be frugal. Being frugal isn't about doing without; it's about not being wasteful.
Exactly, and Cindy.
For us, we think, if we could spend $15,000 to take the family to a theme park somewhere on maybe the East Coast or the West Coast,
maybe the very southeast corner of the country somewhere.
If we spent $15,000 to take our whole family there. That's a crazy big amount. But we took the whole family to Silver Dollar City in Branson, which is 2 states away from us. How much did we spend?
It was like $1,800.
$1,800 for 7 people to go and stay. What did we stay? 5 nights? 4
7.
nights?
No, we were gone 10 days and we stayed 6 nights there. Yeah.
So we spent a lot less to be able to take them on vacation. And we're not dogging people for vacations, but what we are saying is if you say, man, this is the place where we have to go, we're going to swipe the card and not really pay attention to the amount, that's kind of a problem. And for us, for many years, we didn't go on vacations. We didn't have the money. Well, we had some money. We could have gone on vacation, but at the time we lived away from a lot of family and we were driving back on our vacation time to visit family. So we did spend what we have been spending more recently on vacation, once or twice, to visit family, didn't we?
Well, it was only like
no, we spent less than that.
It was only like $300 or $400, $500, $300 to $500.
So we spent less than vacation money. But what I'm saying is that some of our reason for not going on vacations was because we just were visiting family on all the time that we had. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. And here's the thing: you can do this without cutting coupons. You can save $10,000 without cutting coupons. Stop cutting your coupons and start saving in other areas. Now, if you've already cut out all these things and you want to use coupons for additional savings, I say go for it if that's something you like doing. I personally hate using coupons, but if you like doing that, like I've been chatting with Amy, one of our viewers, she is a coupon queen, and I told her one day we're going to Skype and have her on and tell her how she does it because she's a coupon queen and she loves it, and that's great. Me, I start having a mental breakdown at the thought of using coupons.
Oh, yeah.
So these are things you can do when you're not feeling good. Like Tasha said, you never know from hour to hour how you're going to feel good. These are things that you can cut out that are super simple and replace them with very easy things. Replace the soda, tea, and coffee with water. Replace the really high meat meals with easy meals like bean burritos and tacos and that kind of thing. So,
yeah, Charlene says it's not the amount you earn, but how you spend the income.
Yeah.
And a couple people were saying, Lisa says, amen, pay your bills, but there are cheap vacations people can take.
Exactly. And take the cheap vacations. You don't have to go to Disney World every year.
Well, and we were doing.
You don't even have to go at all. We've never been.
We were doing a comparison because we thought maybe we could take them to Disney, and it was going to be $15,000 for our whole family. And we were looking at Silver Dollar City in Branson, and we were thinking about how many rides per hour would the kids get, and how much is that going to cost us each time they ride if we figure out for the whole thing. We were like, wow, it cost us some insanely big, because we asked a friend who loves Disney and goes there all the time, and she said that they
do about 8 rides a day.
Yeah. And
like,
I was thinking,
no way am I paying
kidding?
that for 8 rides.
So,
that's ridiculous.
And I'm, if you have a lot of money and you want to go there, and especially, I mean, some people want to go there once in a lifetime or something, but if you're just upside down in debt and you're throwing it on a credit card,
yeah,
that's
you
not
need
a good
to stop
plan.
that. Yeah, and here's the thing: what happens is someone will have these 2 incomes; they're in debt up to their eyeballs. A spouse will get hurt or disabled. They have to go bankrupt. They have nothing. All that could have been prevented if you would have been responsible and paid your bills in the first place. When we were having this huge court battle with his folks last year and the year before, we lost about 4 months worth of work. But it didn't put us under because we weren't in hock up to our eyeballs. We didn't have car payments. We didn't have any credit card payments. The credit cards we use, we pay off every single month. And the reason we were able to make it through that time was because we were responsible and paid our bills in the first place.
Yep. So, yes. Sorry.
That was anticlimactic. Come on, dear.
Yeah, I was...
No. Come on, dear.
Wow, that's
Keep going.
awesome.
Keep going.
What are we saying? Sorry, I was doing comments.
I said we were able to make it through when your parents were clobbering us because we were responsible and paid our bills.
Yeah, we didn't have a massive amount of debt to have to service, so we were able to cut back to doing the minimum amount we needed for the business. And then, of course, God came through and made one of our videos go viral, which was helpful.
But the thing is, even though we had that viral video go through, that was not a huge amount of money. You guys saw on our how much money we made on YouTube back then. That was not a huge amount of money. I mean, it was keeping us going, but it was not a ton. So, yeah.
So, let's see. So, a lot of the people in pizza were saying that they do frozen pizza, or Jillian says Papa Murphy's is half the price and fresh. What's true? She says, or I get frozen
Papa Murphy's is half the... Oh, yeah. Well, Papa Murphy's is
restaurant.
Half the price of having it delivered. Restaurant. But I still don't do Papa Murphy's.
But she
That's
says, or I
expensive.
get frozen from Aldi for a couple bucks, and I make homemade when I have time.
Yep.
And, yeah, a lot of people were talking about spending a lot for that. Oh, on the water, Heather said I go fill up water jugs for 25 cents a gallon. Phoenix has hard water. Yeah, we lived in Kansas in a house that when we rented the house, we hadn't seen it. We don't recommend you ever do that. But
it was bad. It was really bad.
The well to the house had sulfur water, so the whole house smelled like rotten eggs from the sulfur water. And we used to fill up at the grocery store gallons of water for we would use the sulfur water for things that weren't drinking and eating. But it wasn't harmful to you, but we weren't sure about drinking it. So we pay like $0.25 a gallon. Sometimes I would just fill it up at work because they didn't care. So anyway. And
for a treat, when we had CC's Pizza, Kathy was talking about CC's, we would go there, like my grandmother would come out and she would take us all to CC's Pizza. We don't have those in Colorado. We had them in Kansas. That's a great treat. Find inexpensive ways to do those things. Instead of going on vacation, go to Rocky Mountain National Park or spend the day in your city going and doing the fun things in your city with just your family. You don't have to spend a ton of money to do this.
Well, yeah, and we've tried to find things that are close to us. Like she said, Rocky Mountain National Park. It's cheap for us to go there. And everywhere we've lived, there's been someplace cheap like that where we could fill a lot. And occasionally maybe go on a little bit more expensive trip. But somebody was saying, I forgot who it was, that Danielle said we've gotten a hotel room in our city from a discount site and just hung out by the pool.
Yeah.
There are a lot of, as Ellie and I are looking at this trip that we were planning to go on, I'm finding there are a lot of, you can look on some of those discount sites and get crazy cheap deals on
Oh my goodness.
hotels and reasonably nice places.
Yeah.
You-
Okay.
Yeah.
If you bought a pizza from Costco for $10 every day for a whole year, it'd be $3,570.
Wow. $3,000 if you spent $10 every day eating pizza or something.
Yeah.
So
you
my
wanna skip
son,
it?
do I tell him what you're doing, BJ?
Sure.
So my son is painting his car with $15 worth of cans spray paint from Walmart.
Wow.
He's doing a YouTube video on it.
I don't expect it to turn out that great, but honestly, anything's better than it was. So,
If the sound is out of sync for you, you might refresh. The software we're using, it seems like occasionally it looks like it gets out a little and then it resets itself, but sometimes you have to refresh for that to kick in.
Yeah.
Stephanie says take 1 month and don't spend on anything on stuff you don't need. I'm trying it the next month to see how much we can save.
Yep.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, when are we?
Which ones did you want to?
Let's see. Yeah, our store, Stella says, I miss double coupons. That's part of our thing here. We don't have double coupons or anything like that, and we can't combine coupons, so that's why it's not really worth it for me.
I totally forgot. Robin says I love my slow cooker. I use it for cracked chicken, pulled pork, stew, eat leftovers sometimes for lunch, and some people don't eat their leftovers. Yeah.
Eat your leftovers, people!
Leftovers aren't really bad in any way, and it's funny because it
Drive me
reminds me
crazy.
of on the restaurant thing. We always ask for a box and bring home
Always.
everything that's left.
We even take the chips and salsa if it's a Mexican restaurant.
And the reason why is not only do we get a benefit from that, but I've worked at restaurants before. Every single thing on your table that you don't eat goes right in the trash.
Yep.
So I'm thinking it's not like it's not like you're doing anything wrong by taking all the food that they've put there for you, because they're going to throw it away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yep, they are.
Tasha says we pay off or make extra payments on vehicles if we get extra money. Yeah, when we were paying off debt, every single extra dime went to paying off stuff because we were really intense about wanting to get out of that debt. So, totally.
Yep.
Shelly says we do not and have never used credit cards. Yay.
Carol says, when I was young, my dad was real sick, and there were days when we ate bean soup or bologna gravy because my mom was friends with the butcher and got the ends of bologna for us to eat over bread. Yeah. You know, that's what I'm saying. Americans are spoiled. We're just spoiled brats, really. And people need to, my grandpa talks about how he ate a mayonnaise sandwich like almost every day for lunch. That's all he had was 2 pieces of bread with mayonnaise for lunch. And we think we have to have all this organic food and all this stuff. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And so you need to start focusing on what's important. And I'm not saying you have to eat a mayonnaise sandwich, but I'm saying you need to do what you need to do to pay off your bills and get out of debt so you don't have so much stress in your life.
If a couple people have mentioned having broadcast interrupted or something, if you've had any significant amount of problem, let us know, because we shouldn't be having any trouble, and it seems like for the most part it hasn't been. Denise asked what colors. She's talking about what colors he painting the car.
Maroon, which is what it was.
And I didn't quite catch, but what he's trying to do is figure out a way to do it with spray paint that looks like it's not spray paint.
Yeah. So Annabelle says, BJ, that my dad has painted several cars with spray paint. It totally works and looks good if you take your time.
well, that's what I'm doing.
There you go. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, Heather says a lot of people don't eat their leftovers.
Yeah, and Tasha's right. A lot of leftovers taste better the same day. I think it's so funny how people will take their food and they'll marinate it and all this stuff for 24 hours the day before. But after it's already cooked and it's already marinated and cooked and everything, they won't eat the leftovers. That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. Oh, Megan says, love national parks. State and county parks are great, too. Our state has inexpensive annual pass, so you don't have to pay each visit. Yeah, for us, well, it's $20 to drive into the Rocky Mountain National Park, but we can buy a pass for $40 and go in as much as we want the whole year.
Yep.
And we do. We use it a lot.
And that's what we do for fun. We'll go up to the park and we'll have fire pits. And we're going to start showing some more of that on our family vlog type things. But yeah, you know, we do a lot of fun things, but we don't spend a lot of money on it.
Dave will definitely vlog that.
Donna says, I watch episodes of Hoarders before I go shopping. It really cuts the impulse buying.
There you go, Donna. That's the way to do it.
And Debbie says, I have to make basic stuff like baked chicken, and next week turn the leftovers into something recognizable like tacos, casserole, pot pie, etc. to get my family.
But do that. We have an ebook called Plan Ahead Leftovers in our store. And it's specifically cooking to save yourself time and money to using leftovers. So like tonight's roast that I'm cooking, we're going to eat the roast. Then tomorrow we'll have beef and noodles, or we'll have beef stew, or we'll have beef stroganoff, or we'll have barbecue beef, and we'll eat on it for 3 or 4 days, so I don't have to cook the meat. The meat's already cooked, and then I just make it into another meal. And do you feel like you're completely deprived of food when I do that?
Well, if I was deprived, the scale probably wouldn't scream as much when I step on it. We're working on that, by the way. Well, I forgot to mention, Donna said earlier, Donna Snesko said, hi guys, today's my 41st anniversary. And she said, and I had knee surgery this morning. It went great. Thank you, Lord.
Happy
Congratulations, Donna. Happy anniversary.
Yay, congratulations for staying with him that long.
What are you saying?
I'm
I think
kidding.
this is a subversive comment over here.
I'm joking.
Just kidding.
Do you think we'll make it to 41 years?
Well, if we live that long.
What you're doubting yourself.
BJ said, wait, you're doubting yourself? If we live that long? Wait,
Yes.
you know, if we just croak or if we kill each other, which one would it be?
Or if Jesus comes back first.
Yeah, let's hope Jesus comes back.
Lori says, I take our bills and write down how much money we save from paying them on time versus having late fee, and it's crazy how much money we save each year.
Yes, pay your bills on
That's a
time.
big one for a lot of people.
I have people email me and they will spend, I am not exaggerating, $300 to $500 a month just on late fees. It is absolutely ridiculous. Stop with the looks back there. BJ's going, but that's true. People email me all the time and they're like, I'm spending $300 to $500 a month. But stop.
Stop, people! Smash the
Stop
table.
it.
Insert table smacking here. Annabelle says, whole chicken is a great money saver. I can feed my family of 5 at least 3 dinners with one $4 chicken. That's
Exactly.
a totally dining on a dime thing,
Yeah,
too.
and that's exactly what we say. And I'm going to start showing some meals on how to make 3 meals or 4 meals out of a roast. How to make 3 to 4 meals out of a roast chicken. And I'm going to show how to do that on some of the shows coming up here.
Wow. How much more do we want to do today? There's a
Well,
whole
we can
bunch.
go another 5 minutes.
Heather, I cook ground beef in my crock pot with seasonings, freeze it in 2-cup portions for later cooking. Super easy and a great way to use ground beef on sales with no grease splattered
Yep.
on my stove.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lori, I like that. Lori says I step on my scale and it tells me 1 at a time, please. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, Louise says my husband cooked tonight and measured it out perfectly for 3 servings equals 1 for him, 1 for me, and another for lunch tomorrow. Yay.
Very good, yeah. And I used to get, Mike doesn't have access to a microwave anymore, but I used to get the Glad or Ziploc lunch containers that were divided. It had 2 over here and 1 here. And I would just take, as I was putting up the night's dinners, I would just take that and I would just put in the meat and the side dishes for Mike to take to work. And they would just be stocked in the refrigerator and he would just pull one out and it was great
I
and
miss
easy
those days.
and it was really nice. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Let's see. Cheryl says Meatless Monday has saved us a bunch already this year.
yeah, exactly. It
Yep.
saved a ton. Yay, Shelly bought our book. She loves it and she's already bought one for her son to use while he's away at college.
Ah, and a gift to him and his roommate for Christmas. Nice. Yeah, actually, it's funny how college students really can use that. Oops, there was something about some parents talking to, or some people talking about their parents having 60th anniversary or 50 something
Wow.
anniversary. Wow. Hopefully we'll get there. Not because, survive that life.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Use smaller plates. Somebody said that she uses her grandmother's antique plates. I'm sorry, it went by too fast and I missed it. But use smaller plates. We don't have plates that are this big. We have plates that are this big.
Well, and Stella says they're almost half the size of the ones I used to use. I think that's one of the reasons why people have so much trouble with weight. I went and bought one of those Smart Ones TV dinners from Weight Watchers, and it has this little tiny tray, and I thought, you know what? That tray doesn't hold nearly as much as I eat at some of my meals.
Yep.
And I think that alone
Or
would help.
Dave buys a 4 for $4 at Wendy's, and that has like...
Do I hear my mother-in-law yelling, portion control, portion control? Lisa wants to know, how do you save money when on vacation with meals?
I don't know. We don't go on vacation. No, I mean, what we did, we did go on vacation last year.
Don't buy the salad bar.
Yeah, don't buy the salad bar. I thought I was saving money by getting a salad bar, and it was $11 for my dumb salad. I was so mad. But, so what we did when we went, there was a Cece's Pizza there, so we went and ordered some takeout pizzas from there. They were like $5 each. We ate Wendy's and McDonald's. We ate a sit-down restaurant one time. That was it. Well, no, did we? No, I don't think we did. No, not at that time we did it. That time we didn't.
I didn't hear what you said. We went and got a takeout pizza.
Yeah, we did takeout pizza like once or twice. And we went to the grocery store and just bought bread and lunch meat and made sandwiches for lunches and apples and oranges.
We went to the grocery store and got a lot of things, and we got some things that maybe cost a little more than we would usually get at home, but they were a lot less expensive than eating out at restaurants.
And what I did was I bought the kids juice boxes because those are a treat for my kids. And I bought them the fruit snacks because I never, ever, ever buy those things. And I'm going to do a pantry video on what's in my pantry. But we have some chips in our pantry. But I buy 2 bags of chips for 2 weeks. And when they're gone, they're gone. I don't buy any more after that. And so we would buy the juice boxes and the fruit treats so that the kids would feel like they're getting something special. Make it special. And that's the time to spend those things, not on an everyday regular basis. So that for my kids, the juice boxes are a treat because they don't get them all the time.
Stella says, although I made the fudge brownies today, and that's not helping the weight issue.
I know.
Like the spray cheese is awesome.
Denise wants to know where Jack is. Oh, sorry, Dave.
Jack is in playing on the computer.
I'm down here.
Yeah, Stephanie said my mom told me. You want to come around and
say hi? Watch the light. Watch the light.
Stephanie said my mom told me about the plates she uses, smaller ones, so I went and got some, and it does work. Yes.
Here's
Hi,
his
sweet
cute
Jack.
little face. What did we do today? We went swimming. Tell them what you did. What did you go down, and what did you jump off of?
I jumped off the diving board into the 12 feet, and I also went down the slide.
You got the swimming thing down now, don't you? He's a professional now.
Yep. Wow, so there's a little bit of discussion. First of all, regarding the food stuff, Nancy says, I thought you were gluten-free, Tara.
I am.
So she
What
just
does
has
that
to be
have to do
more.
with
I think
anything?
it's just because you were talking about getting those various foods at this one.
Oh, I am. So what I do is I just eat rice instead of breads. As I just do the rice thing.
Well, yeah, and Julie says if hotel has a refrigerator, stop at a store and get breakfast stuff,
That's what we
yogurt,
did.
bagels, and cream cheese. Well, and ours had a refrigerator, a little mini refrigerator, and a microwave. So we got a lot of things that, like yogurts and bagels and breads and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And we kind of, like I said, did a little more than we normally would for that.
Yeah.
So Stephanie says, I'm still waiting on my books, LOL. I'm extra excited to get them.
Okay, so if you ordered our Valentine's special, I did not expect to sell out of our Valentine's special, and we ran out of packing envelopes. I think they're going to be here tomorrow. I hope the envelopes are going to be here tomorrow.
I hope not.
So if you're waiting, I am so super sorry. but I ran out of packing envelopes, and they are on their way, and hopefully I'll get the Valentine's special shipped tomorrow. So sorry, and it didn't help today being a holiday. They probably would have been here if it wasn't for that, so.
Leanne says, LOL, tell my hubby to cut down cases of beer.
Yeah, and you know what helps with that? Let him figure out how much he's spending on it. If he's buying 5 cases of beer
here's
a
20
week,
bucks, go buy yourself the beer this month.
yeah, you know, add that stuff up because it really adds up quick. So.
Yay. We had a few other things. Toby says, since I'm following you, I slowly realized homemaking stuff like rolls are much cheaper than pre-made.
Yes, they are. And
They're
they're really
much
not that
cheaper.
time, and they taste a whole lot better.
Well, it amazes me how many convenience things. I think I gave this example the other day, but I was at our Kroger store. You can buy like little packs of pre-sliced vegetables and stuff, and they're frightfully expensive. You can buy this tiny little package of pre-sliced for more than like 2 packs of the full packages of things.
Yep.
Helen was wondering, how do you make one chicken work when you have 2 huge football player boys?
Well, in that case, you are going to have to spend more. So you're just going to have to call it that season of your life.
Take them to the dollar menu at Wendy's.
Yeah,
Let
and
'em get
maybe
5 things.
that one chicken is just going to be your meal. But buy your chicken at home, roast it yourself, or get a rotisserie chicken, which is like $5 to $6 here. And have that as your meal, and then give them, though, one other thing. Make sure they're eating fat with every meal. Fat is what makes you feel full. So they need to either eat the chicken skin or put pure, real butter on their rolls or rice or whatever.
Dave.
Fat helps you feel full. So take your chicken, eat the one chicken, make sure you have fat on the rolls or whatever. Let them have as much, you know, dinner rolls, that kind of thing, to help fill them up without spending quite so much.
Oh, hi, Sue. Sue's here.
Sue!
Oh, I was
Thank
going to
you,
email
Sue.
you, Sue, and find out if you changed your plan or not for that time frame.
On Sunday, Mom usually gets me at Wendy's the 4 for $4 meal deal. That literally fills me up for pretty much the entire day.
Yes, it
Like,
does
that's
for the whole rest of the day.
entire meal.
All right. So I think we're going to go and have
Fading fast, yes, dear.
yes, I'm fading fast. Our dinner is in the oven, and we will be back on Wednesday. I'm not sure. I was thinking about maybe how to make homemade bone broth on Wednesday.
Oh, Tracy says, pasta, pasta, pasta. I raised 2 football players.
Yeah.
That's a great way to fill
You
them.
need to fill them up on the carbohydrates and don't let them eat so much meat and desserts and that kind of thing. So,
That's what I'm doing. Can you yell at me?
Yes, Amy.
yes, Mama Jen. When you go to the dentist and you have $1,000 dentist bill and your kids have been sucking on juice, that's exactly kicks it in your brain when you're like, I'm not gonna keep giving them juice. So I
thanks.
totally get that. So
Well, thanks,
anyway.
everybody. It looks like we could keep going for a long time, but I think Tara's fading. So-
Yep. So sorry, guys. I will let you go. I will be back on Wednesday. We're with the Homestead Network Wednesday, so I might be making homemade bone broth. Stop paying $8 for 4 cups of bone broth. That's absolutely ridiculous. You can make it for like 20 cents. Or free, actually. So, all right, guys. Yay, Jamie. I'm so glad you loved your dinner. We're getting ready to eat ours.
Yay.
We'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Please buy our book, Dining on a Dime. Oh, and check out my new How to Make Soap YouTube channel. Mike,
I need to
put
find
the
that.
link in the description below if you don't have it. I'm getting another video, my mountain video, on tonight. How to make a mountain soap tonight.
Where's that link?
So, oh, and by the way, I may or may not be making soap tomorrow. I'm not sure. I have 2 doctor's appointments for BJ tomorrow. And we're going to be spending all afternoon doing that. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have the option to do soap. So I'll see if I pop in, say hi. Otherwise,
soap channel.
I
Okay.
will see you guys. Mike's putting my new soap
The
channel on
soap
there.
channel link is going in right now.
All right,
Hey there,
guys.
Em. Here's Emily.
See you later. There's Emily saying hi. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Visit
Thanks
us at
again.
livingonadime.com.
Bruh.
Why are you Brian?
Bruh.
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 think you lost me.